Welcome to the quick overview of Liveletter 84. They started the Liveletter by announcing that the new patch will be releasing on Tuesday, November 12th, meaning we just have about a week and a half until the release of the patch. So make sure to prepare and finish off anything you want to finish off, which does include the Moogle event and PvP. So coming in past 7.1, we will get the main scenario quest and the new Allied Society quest with the Pelu Pelu on release. In 7.15, we get the new custom deliveries with Nito Vikve, we get the further Hildebrand adventures, and we get additional Vakumeki Meki quests. Then in 7.16, we are getting additional role quests as well. When it comes to instances, we will be getting Uwewata Field Station as our new dungeon, and the Minstrel's Ballad Sweens Burden as our new extreme trial. The Jade Stoa will be our new Unreal trial, and then we will be getting the first part of our Alliance raid with the Echoes of Van Daniel, Juno the First Walk. In patch 7.11, we will get Futures Rewritten, the new Ultimate, and in 7.15, we will get Cloud of Darkness, Chaotic. Additionally, we are getting the new Game Plus support for 7.1. Duty support for non-main scenario quest is going to be implemented moving forward. Hall of the Novice training for specific battle mechanics is going to be added. They are updating PvP. We are getting the Science as voices with reaction and commentary for Doman Mahjong. I have not known how to play that game yet. Maybe I should get into it. And then a huge housing update. We will now be able to select interior design from different residential areas, regardless of the location of our plot. We got our first look at some upcoming gear, and for some reason, like always, UCP decided that the best way to show gear is to hold it up on paper in front of the camera. I do quite like the details of the pieces. They are fully black, but the textures are really beautiful. And the sets are actually fully dyeable. Now with the brand new content of the Chaotic Alliance raid, let's talk a little bit about how you can take part in it. You can unlock the raid by completing the main scenario quest Dawntrail. You can register for the raid via Raid Finder or Party Finder. Party compositions are 2 tanks, 4 DPS and 2 healers, and for the raid there should be 3 parties. The raid is balanced around 24 members, but they also say the performed alliances may undertake the duty with 12 to 24 members. Just make note, difficulty and rewards will remain the same. So let's talk about reward. If you manage to take down the new Cloud of Darkness, you can expect item level 730 gear, some mounts, minions and hairstyles, and tokens which can be exchanged for rewards. They're also putting a bonus reward system. You will be getting additional tokens in proportion of the number of Alliance members who are new to the duty. There will also be a limited time bonus. This one is a randomly occurring reward bonus that persists for several hours. You can enter the duty during this period for improved drop rates and additional tokens. Looking at some more gear, it is looking pretty neat. Looking also drastically different, with one being quite dark and gloomy and the other very light. Then we got to see a preview of some mounts. We got this floating pillar that looks really cool. There is a Cloud of Darkness mount, as in with you as the Cloud of Darkness, with Yossipi's Lalafell. It looks a little bit spooky, but just imagine a male Rokugan coming towards you in this. It's gonna be massive and absolutely hilarious. They are making some changes to PvP, especially to the action execution in hit detection. So until now, hit detection was triggered at the time the action was executed, so when he casted a spell. But now timing of the hit detection will better match visual effects, though actions which feel more responsive with immediate hit detection will be addressed on an individual basis. As someone who is absolutely terrible at PvP, I don't know if this would affect me, but those of you who actually really enjoy PvP, and maybe the higher end one, is there something that has been bothering you? And does this sound like a good update? They're also going to be doing some major additions and adjustment to PvP actions, and that apparently does include adding and removing some actions for each job. We will definitely learn more about this in the patch notes, where they will talk about it more in detail per class. And with this, they're hoping to make some significant balance adjustments. And apparently certain limit breaks will receive adjustment to gauge charge time. They are making adjustment to front lines and rival wings, both the damage dealt and damage taken, the limit gauge charge time, and machina functionality. We are getting, obviously, the next season of PvP, and we will be getting some improvements to the crystalline conflict arenas. So here we have the before of Cloud9, and here we have the after of Cloud9. Then we have the before of the Red Sands, and the after of the Red Sands. There will also be changes to the crystalline conflict ranked matches. Now the ranked matches will be held in one data center per region. The data centers will be Gaia, Chaos, Primal, and Materia. Players can register for matches from the designated data center. Only the best performing characters on a service account will be listed in the ranking. In accordance with the ranking being consolidated to one data center per region, the number of placement for rewards will be adjusted. Before 7.1, we had the first place, the second to 30th place, and the 31st to 100th place. Now we will have the first place, the second to 100th place, and the 101st to 300th place. As for Oceania, as the ranking are all held on one data center, the numbers will remain the same as prior to 7.0. And now it's time to talk about the new Ultimate Raid, Futures Unwritten. This one is a remake of the Eden Raid, though it does seem to have some new voice lines. And it looks like Green there is wearing Mitron's Asian mask. Very interesting. Now changes to the Ultimate Raids are, when two members with the same job are present in the party, the limit gauge will no longer passively fill up over time, meaning stacking jobs will not be an option this time around. And they talked about the new changes to the Hall of the Novice. Here the goal is to introduce to you a variety of different mechanics, including allowing you to see how different mechanics look visually and how to react to them. But this is a great way for both new and old players to refresh themselves on the mechanics, what they look like and how they work. And I personally think this is a great update to this system. We get to see some more glorious mount, this time a big cactus man. And he has an absolutely glorious mount animation. There is a new manatee mount, which has a really pretty mount animation. It flows in the air splashing water. And the final mount they showed is the new wings from Sveen. These are beautiful. They have a really cool glitchy effect, and then when you fly they actually become way more mechanical. We are getting an update for the group poses. They have added support for Fisher's fishing animations. So they're fixing the camera movement when you have rotated the camera angle. So now no longer will it be based on the actual roll angle. Instead, it will simply remain based on your screen, which will make it way easier to navigate. They're now adding something called outfit glamours, where you can store specific combination of gear in the glamour dresser as a single slot, which you can then project onto gear or onto a glamour plate. At the moment, this seems to mostly support level 1 glamours, and it seems that you need like the full outfit set for it to work. It will be interesting to see how this evolves, as we always need more space in our glamour dressers. Then there are some quality of life updates for those who like to play more than one character. The character's HUD layout, macros, config setting, and more can be copied to this other character, though this only applies to characters belonging to the same Square Enix account and on the same device. Still, this is very handy, as having to set up everything again on a new character can be a little bit frustrating. Another update is that Utilist can now display up to 10 quests at a time. They have also added a feature to show characters tilting while turning, very similar to how the mounts tilt. But this can be enabled or disabled as desired. I think for me it will heavily depend on how much the tilt is gonna be. Then talking about the graphic updates, starting with patch 7.1, character-related feedback will be addressed. This doesn't mean everything is going to be sorted out right away, but we should start seeing some improvements. And an additional file of Fantasia will be distributed, only redeemable during 7.1, from a certain NPC. So we're getting yet another free Fantasia, though only for this patch. It seems after the patch, the NPC is going to go away. So we got the schedule for 7.1, so on November 12th, 7.1 will be released. On November 26th, we will get 7.11, which releases Future Written, the Ultimate. On December 17th, we get patch 7.15, which includes the new custom deliveries, additional Wakumeki quest, and inconceivably further Hildebrand quests. And then on December 24th, a week after the release of patch 7.15, we get the Cloud of Darkness Chaotic. This has to be some terrible dates, because let's all be honest, December 24th, and that time is not exactly peak time for people to manage the game. Family tends to want attention around this time of year. You get to see some weapons from the weapon design competition. These are going to be entering the game and they look amazing. They mix from delightfully silly to absolutely beautiful. So I'm kind of excited to see a warrior show up with a pufferfish on a stick. I think that's going to be hilarious. They introduce a new crossover event between War of the Visions and Final Fantasy XIV. Outfits based on the two main characters from War of Vision, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, will be coming to the online store. From the look of them, I'm not hugely impressed. The artwork for the War of Vision characters looks so cool. The dress looks so, pretty and full of detail, and the armor looks really fluffy, and the gear we're getting on the store looks very plain in comparison. The Art of Succession book is coming out, which is the official art book featuring nearly 1,000 illustrations and concept artwork for Dawntrail. If you get it, you will also get a bonus item, which is this wind-up Erenville minion. The Final Fantasy XIV original soundtrack for Dawntrail is now also available, and this album includes an in-game item code for a wind-up Zero minion. The Primal's live show in Japan is now coming on Blu-ray. This is the show from the Yokohama area on September 21st and 22nd. And you can pre-order the special box version for additional merchandise. There is also a Final Fantasy camping set. This is a collaboration with Logos, and it looks very cute. Then there's a collaboration with Filibustier Paris, for a Grand Company bracelet. Then there's a collaboration between Swarovski Live. This is a hair color brand. I feel like these collaborations are always like really weird. The Final Fantasy Symphony with Echoes of Eorzea will now travel to the Middle East on November 28th and 29th. They will be in the Princess Noura University Red Hall in Riyadh in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And then of course we got reminded that Final Fantasy XVI is available on multiple platforms. You can get it on Steam, Epic Games and PlayStation 5. The father of Final Fantasy, Hironobu Sakaguchi, and the renowned composer Nobuo Uematsu are also returning to deliver, are on a schedule to release on December 5th on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5 and 4, Xbox Series X and S, and on Steam. The developers will be reading the patch notes on November 12th, though please note the audio will be available in Japanese only. And that is everything from the live letter. Tell me, what do you think about the new gear, especially the weapons? I'm very excited for them. And are you excited about the new changes to the PvP? Let's talk about it all down in the comments. And while you're down there, maybe throw me a commendation by liking and subscribing. And in the end, all I want to say is tack för att horfa och eigðu yndislegan dag.